Hello and welcome back as we Mog Downy Mime Locket. Listen, they're not all going to be zingers, okay? Sometimes I just find a word and I want to see what anagrams go with it.
I see. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so I just handed her back the brooch.
That phrase got to be almost like a prayer for me. Whenever I had to make a tough decision, I'd say it to myself. And then I would flip a coin. Sometimes I just repeat it over and over like a chant. Before long, I had it memorized. It got me interested in Latin, and I started studying the language. Elapsum semel occasionem non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity.
I was worried
nice,
she
doesn't
might.
it?
I was worried she might be a psychic, but it's worse. She's a classicist.
The extra is in there is doing a lot of work. Classist, ugh. Classicist, ugh.
But seems kind of funny now. I mean, look at us. We've done what Jupiter can't. We can find our lost opportunities. Anyway, morphogenetic field. Anyway, that's why I followed you here. Thought it'd be a good idea to talk to you about this alone.
Yeah, I agree.
There's something else we need to do too, though.
Find the number 2 bomb.
Exactly. So, we should get going. Pretty sure the bomb isn't in here. There's nowhere to hide it. So...
You're saying we should go somewhere else?
That's weird because the bombs were hidden, I guess. They weren't immediately noticeable. One was like in a bush somewhere, one was underneath the thing, but they're also like not unfindable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? If you didn't want it to be found, you could have easily put it in like one of the cardboard boxes in the fucking octopus room, right? Nobody's going through all of those. Which is like, I don't know, it speaks to both a minute desire to have them going past, but also maybe a desire to have them found? I don't know.
Yep. Well, come on. Don't just stand there. We need to get a move on.
Without waiting for a reply, she turned and started toward one of the exits. I followed.
Anyway, the fact that she can indeed confide in us like this and indeed tries to get our help in solving this makes me feel a little bit less suspicious of her being ultimately in on it.
Yeah. It'd be weird for her to have us searching privately with her for the number 2 bomb if, like, she was the one placing the bombs. Like, it's one thing to maintain a public image about it, but another to, like, do this one-on-one thing.
Right, exactly, where it's only for Sigma's benefit.
Unless everybody's in on it.
I mean, I guess that's always the unstated thing, right? Like in the last game, there were some amount of people who had knowledge and were in on things. But June was largely passive because aside from setting things, during the game itself, she was passive because after setting the things up, there were things she had to do behind the scenes, but she could only do the things that she was always going to do. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
She had to trust that other people would eventually find their way to their parts in the scenario.
So consider... We know one way in which Sigma is an odd one out so far compared to other characters that we can verify this with.
Yeah?
That he doesn't bleed blood.
Oh, right. Sorry,
We've seen other people bleed blood.
He's a fucking robot? He's a robot?
This is actually a story about teaching a robot to love. Sigma's the only one that's not in on it, and everybody else is organizing this whole thing because this robot on the moon, they've got to
I guess here's the
be
question.
Human.
Robot on the moon.
Yeah.
We're still doing robots on the moon theory.
Yeah.
100%. But then here's the question. What happened to actual Sigma? Was that made up, or did actual Sigma exist? The actual Sigma who had a fucking paper to turn in on Christmas Day.
Okay, hear me out. Actual Sigma did exist, but was also a robot. A different one, though.
A different robot. God. Okay, great. Anyway.
If I get all the shit theories out, eventually we'll get to the good ones.
I don't know that we could get more out there than robots, disembodied souls and robots on the moon, but we'll try.
Okay, but that's not that out there for an Uchikoshi game. That's just normal.
Yeah, okay.
The archives. Good place to hide a bomb. Now, where the hell do we start looking?
They set up us the bomb. I doubt it really matters. If it's here, we'll find it eventually.
So, what about that Jupiter stuff?
We can talk while we look. Now get started.
I turned to a corner of the room and began to look while Phi spoke.
I'll start with the conclusion I've come to. Our consciousnesses seem to be able to jump through time. No, sorry, through time isn't really accurate. It's more like we move through worlds.
Worlds?
Oh, so we are doing like Steins Gate shit. This is great. World binds.
Yeah. I don't mean physical planets in this case. I'm talking about a whole different universe, really. Parallel worlds.
I'm so sorry that I'm laughing, but it's based on willfully misunderstanding a very specific analytic philosopher in a way that will be funny to nobody.
No, but okay, now you need to explain it.
David Lewis, all possible worlds are actual worlds, which I'm choosing to interpret as, yes, all possible worlds are in fact planets. You can go to them.
You see that one? Earth 2. Real nice place. Basically the same.
What?
Do you know about the many worlds interpretation?
Well, kind of.
Okay, but now you're getting into like the info dump lady part, so maybe that is another point in the zero column.
I think I've heard of it once or twice.
Huh. Oh well. I'll just explain it, I suppose. Every Uchikoshi game has to have a weird girl. Let's say...
No, Phi, no. This takes place in 2028. Phi confirmed for a Ben Shapiro fan.
Wait, what?
She's doing the let's say.
I have no idea what you're referencing.
You live in such a better world than I do.
I'm not sure that I do.
That's a famous famous tick of Ben Shapiro's to set up an argument based on numbers he pulls out of his ass.
I see.
Starting with let's say.
I don't care what it is, but could you move? Scratch your head, cross your arms, put your hands on your hips. Anything.
I had no idea what this was supposed to explain, but I did as she'd asked.
Let's applaud the Claude. Wait, no. I just called her a Claude. I'm sorry. I was talking about Claude Sire.
Interesting choice. You clapped your hands, right? But you could have chosen to cheer, blow a kiss, right?
Blow a kiss? I wouldn't do...
The details don't matter. Just talking about possibilities here. Now, maybe there are other Sigmas in other worlds who did all of those things. All of these worlds and realities are branching off from one another. The choices you could have made branched off from the moment you decided what you were going to do. Just now.
Hold on, we can... There was a moment there where they could have done something really funny.
Yeah.
Every moment you make a decision, another universe branches off, on and on into infinity. Each of those branches is an alternate world. A world where a version of you did something different. Have you ever thought about what life would have been like if you'd made different choices? What if you'd gone to this high school instead of that one? What if you hadn't started a study group? What if you hadn't told that girl you liked her?
What if you hadn't started a study group? Community canceled after half a season.
What if But are those what ifs really just what ifs? Or are there other worlds out there where you did those things? Anyway, that's the many worlds interpretation in a nutshell. I've simplified it a lot. Doesn't have to be human actions, though. I just use your actions to make the explanation easier to grasp. The actions of a cat, the flight of a bee, the movement of a microorganism, even fluctuations in air temperature. All of these can change history.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a second here. I'll let microorganisms slide, but there's no way that air is conscious of anything.
Can you say for sure that you are?
What?
All of your actions are caused by the cells in your brain. If we go down a little further, then you could say all of your actions are the results of atoms, or electrons, or smaller particles we haven't even discovered yet. Are those atoms and electrons still you making a decision? At that level, how different are you from the air? I'd say not much. Anyway, I've been learning about strange loops.
That is one of the most interesting ways of dealing with that problem I've encountered, and I find it very charming.
Can you feel me physically restraining my adjust glasses? Actually.
Do it, though. That's what the people want. The people want our commentary on the themes. Give your commentary.
What the fuck does quantum physics have to do with choices? We've immediately leapt from one area to another.
Yes, she has she has conflated quantum randomness with active decision making, which is you can argue about those, but that's a different argument.
B, what the fuck does whether or not you're conscious have to do with whether or not determinism is true or what the physical laws there are? We've just leapt across several disciplines and
Yep. She did say she was simplifying it a bit, and I guess graciously I can see the chain of her argument, right? But the way she's presenting it definitely speaks more to I've thought about this a lot and don't remember how to express all the steps anymore. But it makes sense in my mind that these topics are linked, and I don't know how to explain that to you anymore. Anyway, take some time to just kind of sit down and work it all out. No, work it out, but I find it to be a very edifying exercise with stuff like this, where I've gotten something that's kind of been deep in my head for a while, and it's starting to make connections that I don't remember how to properly express, and just kind of piece by piece kind of tease out what exactly are my assumptions that I've been making and just kind of aligning over time, right? Because don't generally wind up disagreeing with them, but it helps to be cognizant of that.
Do you just debate stuff in your head like I do?
Oh, all the time. I've lost so many arguments in my own head.
Yeah.
God.
I suck. I'm brutal. I never let anything slide.
Exactly. I know all my own moves.
Human existence is just one part of reality. Falling in love is like a tulip blossoming. A tulip blossoming is like a tornado forming in South America. Do you see what I'm saying? The only thing that really matters is the action of the most elementary particles of matter. That's where history happens. That's where universes branch out.
Now, I don't necessarily have anything against the theory she's proposing here. The problem is, the problem is a lot of times people kind of use it to justify things that don't follow from it. The concept of you ever heard people talk about the concept of quantum immortality?
Mm-hmm.
There's always a world where you didn't die. It's that's not what that's saying. No, that if the probability of you not dying is 0, there can't be a world where you don't continue living, or where you don't. There can't be a world where you continue living. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's this doesn't say everything is possible. It doesn't say anything about it makes no claims about the possibility of the actions that would cause things to branch. right? Things still, you can't just say many worlds and then invent anything you want.
This, separate from that, the bit that got me is nothing matters but the actions of the most fundamental particles. Like, okay, but that's not a good argument in ways that have nothing to do with the many worlds interpretation.
Yeah.
The same argument would be a great way to argue that, say, water doesn't exist. And if you think that's absurd, that water doesn't exist because it's actually about the actions of the most fundamental particles on a quantum level, then maybe you shouldn't be that convinced by that in any other case.
I feel like that's one of those moments where I'm like, that's a water. We have to be able to agree on that.
Anyway, now that we're done dissecting what is clearly just here for fictional purposes and not intended to actually argue in favor of any of these things.
But there's still value in engaging with the themes that Phi is presenting an abbreviated version of this, but these are themes that come up in Ujikoshi's writing and works a lot, over and over. This is stuff that he's thought about a very long time, right? And like the ways he presents it are sci-fi-fied. Yeah, that's true, but like within that there are genuine things that he is trying to grapple with and express, right? Like it ever since like going back and playing Never 7 was really enlightening in that way, and like how these things have always been there from the beginning in his work, and then seeing that continue through stuff like the Somnium Files, and then 100 Line earlier this year. It's worth. The man's dedicated his career to try to express things about this. I still think it's worth, even if in the moment to moment some characters may not express it the most fluently, that doesn't mean it's not worth engaging with. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, you stopped. Was it because I was talking for a long time? Are you done with that shelf?
Oh, no, not yet.
Well, keep looking while I talk. How familiar are you with quantum physics? You know what? Never mind. Don't answer that. I'll try and keep it simple for you. Okay, let's see. Hey, hand me that box over there, will you?
This one? Sure.
Yeah, that's my dice box. That's where I keep all my dice.
I handed the box I'd been examining over to her. She set it down on the desk and opened the top.
Okay. Also, Oh, there's a stuffed lion over there. Perfect. He's part of Fella Day, too. Anyway, I'm gonna murder this stuffed lion.
Maybe.
I won't make the decision. It'll be the macro result of quantum level interaction.
You gotta.
With that, she grabbed the lion and tossed it unceremoniously into the box.
Oh, why?
She also took a weight and an ink jar and put them in next to the lion.
No, let me out. I'm just a cute stuffed lion. Why would you do this to me? Is this the tax fraud coming back?
All right. Everything's ready.
Ready?
Remember that book in the crew quarters about Schrodinger's cat? It relates to all this stuff I've been talking about. Anyway, come look at the box. She's also not doing herself any favors that she is very intimately aware of a lot of the ideas and themes at play in this particular arena. You know?
What about looking for the...
This will only take a minute. Also, I get off on being able to explain things like I'm smarter than everyone else. Now take a look.
I shrugged and peered into the box.
All right, what do you see?
Well, there's a stuffed lion.
From now on, that's a cat. A living cat. This is important. Do you got it?
Yeah, it's a cat. Meow.
Oh. Oh, man. This again?
Sorry. I can't help it.
maybe it's not that sigma is 0, but maybe it's a byproduct of the particular process they use to digitize people's consciousness and put them into other beings. So when Sigma's consciousness got zooped up and put into his robot body on the moon, that was an affectation that came along with it, much like what happened to Zero Jr.
Load-bearing animal affectations.
Listen, one programmer tried to remove it and the whole thing collapsed, so at
exactly.
this point...
I find that hard to believe. Ugh, fine. Maybe I can just ignore it.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
It's not worth much, but thank you. All right, what else do you see?
A weight that's not even a pond and a jar of ink.
Right.
Wait, that's not even a pond? Pound is what... Okay. I could not figure out what he meant there at first glance.
Right, okay. Now the weight is going to be radioactive material, okay? And the jar of ink is full of poisonous gas.
What? I'm getting out of here.
Idiot. It's not really full of gas. It's just a hypothetical, okay? Imagine that it's full of gas. So, what's the weight?
Radioactive material.
And the jar of ink.
It's full of poison gas.
Exactly.
Don't we also need to know what the half-life of the radioactive material... Yeah, whatever. That's not important.
Good work.
Cat. They can't hold me. I'm a sovereign citizen. Radioactive material. Poison gas.
Now there's one other thing you need to know about the jar. Oh! If it's struck by any of the alpha particles of the radioactive material emits, it'll break. These particles are emitted randomly, but there's a 50% chance that one of them will come into contact with the jar over the course of an hour. So let's close the lid.
Oh!
And pretend an hour has passed. Here's the question. Is the cat inside of the box alive or dead? You can't open the box to check. You can't hit the box. And you can't listen to it screaming from inside. Obviously, you can't shake it either. It's also been soundproofed, so the cat could be howling up a storm in there, and you would never know. Basically, you have no idea what's going on inside the box. Do you remember what happens if the alpha particles hit the jar?
It breaks, gas fills the box, the cat inhales it, and death will whisk her away.
And what if the jar doesn't break?
The cat lives to tell the tale.
I couldn't... So there's no, verbal tell that you just made a pun? But I'm just... Part of me knows that you did. Part of me knows. And what are the chances of either of those things happening?
About 50%.
Uh-huh. So what's your answer? Is the cat alive or dead?
I can't possibly know.
Then guess. It's not hard, alive or dead.
I think it's alive. It'd be sad if it was dead.
It still needs to be tried for its crimes.
The cat is, pause for dramatic effect, alive.
Nope. You're wrong.
It's dead?
That's wrong too.
Then what's the right answer?
The answer is that it's in a state where it is neither dead nor alive.
What?
That's right, it can't play volleyball.
How does that make any sense?
Okay, it's an extrapolation of something we see at the atomic level. We don't know if an atom is spinning upward or downward until we measure it. Before it's measured, those two possibilities coexist. But as soon as the measurement is taken, obviously only one possibility is the truth. Well, that's what's happening with the alpha particles.
And I think it's worth... it's kind of being elided here, but I think it's worth stating explicitly kind of part of this. Because you might read this and be like, oh, those two possibilities coexist. We just don't know, but it's one of them. For the way the experiment works is that that's not actually the case. It's the case that both are true, right? And that the act of measuring does lock in one of them. It's super weird, but some things on the quantum level do indeed work that way. So it's not just Phi saying that, oh, the two possibilities coexist, we just don't know which one it is. It's saying, no, the two possibilities coexist, both are true, and the act of measuring is what will determine one of them.
That's what's happening with the alpha particles. Since we can't know when they were emitted or where, we only know the probability that they'll impact the jar. Because we can't observe everything that's happening in the box, that becomes the entire system. In other words, the box is like the atom. We don't know how the cat's life or death situation has resolved itself until we look at it. Until we do, it's just a bunch of possibilities. Do you get it? If the cat in the box is possibilities,
then it's both alive and dead.
Right. So let's open the lid. And when we do, all the possibilities will collapse into a single truth. Meow. What a relief, huh? Looks like the cat's alive.
Unhand me, criminals! You can't try me in your court of law!
Anyway, that's Schrodinger's cat. The mini-world's interpretation is one theory for explaining that weirdness.
This is going to be an incredibly stupid... What?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is going to be an incredibly stupid question.
Sure, hit me.
Why does not the cat observing its life or death of poison count? I know this is just a thought experiment. I know this is just a thought experiment, but I think a lot of what makes it counterintuitive, like I feel like maybe this
the cat is an observer. If you I guess in this hypothetical scenario, cats have no internality.
But is that even it? Like, does internality have to do with whether a thing is a measurement or not?
Or whether it's simply the cat existing in the same space necessarily means that it has to, in some sense, take a measurement, right?
Somebody fill me in on this.
What if the cat was partitioned away so it doesn't know what's going on via the radioactive thing and only is alive or dead and has no knowledge of the rest of the system?
Has no knowledge of whether it's alive or dead?
It has no knowledge of the rest of the system.
Yeah, of course it doesn't. It's a cat, but it's either dying or it's not.
Thought experiment.
I know that's the actual answer. I know that the actual answer is thought experiment, but it's like
the real answer is that PETA won't let us put the cats we need in there. And you could help change things so that way we can start sacrificing real cats to do real life Schrodinger's cat experiments.
I legitimately want to know though, because to me, like,
yeah, it kind of breaks at that level, doesn't it? Because the cat, you're right, the cat it does feel like an observer in any other sense of the word, doesn't it? In the sense that we would also, in the sense where we opening the box and looking feels like taking the measurement, the cat looking at noticing whether or not it's alive or dead also feels like taking the measurement in that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, would it solve the problem to have something that's not a organic being in there?
How do you mean? What's organic beings have to do with anything?
So is the problem simply that, I guess, like, the problem is the problem we're getting at that the cat could be, in some sense, a conscious observer, and that it is a being who is aware of itself, alive or dead? Or is the problem that we're getting at the fact that by virtue of having changed as a result of the experiment, whatever item is on the other side there has, in that sense, taken the measurement?
Does quantum physics say that consciousness is what it's about?
I genuinely don't know. I won't lie to you about this. I don't. The notion of what it means to actually take a measurement of something and how that affects those things, I know that's the case, and I don't know the specifics of how it works.
I also
that is
don't.
legitimately a black. That's about where my fuzzy understanding ends. So that is legitimate. Like, I don't want to come off as knowing more than I don't. I don't know how it works at that level. I don't know. I do know that there is a sense in which that does change things on a quantum level, but I don't know what is sufficient for an observation.
I also don't know, but I was under the impression that the consciousness creates reality by observing it interpretation was like a fringe woo-woo thing.
Yeah.
And I was also under the impression that the proliferation of interpretations of it are because it's just math. None of these disagree on what that math is.
Yeah.
And so it's not clear, like, what then is the difference given that the math is agreed upon.
You know what we need? We need a really charmingly illustrated game explaining to us exactly how Schrodinger's cat works.
Yeah. Someone get on that. Someone get on that.
Right down to what it actually means to make an observation of something. And then what the interpretations of that wind up showing us.
And then make every visual novel author play it.
Yeah, there we go. Anyway, back to the cat box.
So there's another world out there where this cat died.
Yeah, that's the idea. Looks like that cat tick of yours cleared up.
Yeah. Well, your story was pretty insane.
Insane?
You don't think so? Just the idea of something being alive and dead at the same time. And if the moment the lid is open determines whether or not the cat's dead, then it's almost like events in the future can determine the past. I mean, the cat doesn't die when you open the lid, so it must have already been dead.
Exactly. You've experienced it, haven't you?
What on earth are you talking about?
Think back. Remember round 2? When you chose betray, what was my vote?
Ally.
Okay. But what happened this time?
I chose ally and you chose betray.
Right. And both times, I put in my vote a full minute before the deadline. When did you push the button?
Right before the deadline.
I see. Well, that makes this a little easier to explain. If you chose betray, then my vote was ally. If you chose ally, then my vote was betray. But I made my choices a whole minute before you made yours. Don't you think that's strange? Do you see what I'm saying? You do see what I'm saying, don't you?
That my choice in the future altered your action in the past?
Yep. From your perspective, there's no other way to interpret it.
Now that I thought about it, round 1 had been the same. When I'd chosen ally, Alice had chosen betray. And when I'd chosen betray, she'd done the opposite.
I love the little ellipses after every single time Sigma just casually remembers things from different world lines. Just there's so much load bearing to those two little ellipses being like, I'm not going to think about why this is. I'm not going to we're just accepting it at face value and moving on.
Here, look at this dice. It's pretty cool, isn't it? I found it over there. Let me give you one last example, okay?
As she spoke, she tossed the die into the box and quickly shut the lid.
All right, answer this question. What number is the die on?
Hold on. I know the best way to do this. you like to do the honors?
Yeah.
Okay, here I'll get it. I'll get a nice D6, not one of the. Which one's this? Oh, this one's from like the trans colors dice set, the blue and pink swirls. Go for it. And what is that number?
That's a 5.
That's a 5. I'm glad we agree. All right.
I was considering saying it was something different, but
And I would
realized
have
that
screamed.
realized that it would not be funny because they can't see the die.
They would have gotten to hear my reaction.
It's not 5, is it?
Okay, I'm gonna open the lid.
Oh shit.
Great job. You got it right.
That was just a fluke.
Was it?
Huh?
Let's think about what was going on before I opened the lid. What number was the die on?
5, of course.
Haven't you been paying attention? The die is still a collection of atoms, isn't it? I don't think you can reasonably suggest it was made of some different kind of matter.
Wait, so you're saying that before you opened the lid, the die was on all the numbers?
Uh-huh. That's one way to look at it, at least.
That's also not how this
No,
works.
it's fine. It's Listen.
Imagine how hard D&D would be if dice rolling was based on quantum effects and your dice were fucking probability clouds. That would be so hard.
D&D, but the dice are truly random. We don't roll dice. We've got a collection of lava lamps.
No, that would be fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That's very different from it being a quantum effect.
I know.
This is a die is a
Listen.
normal macro level system.
Listen, maybe this game just wants to take a slight misunderstanding of the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment and extrapolate it to the macro level in order to make an interesting narrative decision that events in the future can affect the past.
But the last time I made fun of myself for looking into it too much when this was just a game using it as a narrative advice, you told me to engage.
Yeah, and I'm glad you're doing it. I'm glad. This is good. This is what the people want. The people want us doing this. Oh, did you
And when you opened the lid, it was just one number?
Or it might have become that number when you declared which one it was.
I still think that's a very poor example, but I get what she's getting at.
Huh? Wait, what do you mean?
Your choice in the future has an effect on the past.
That's crazy.
Wait, no, it's fine. Morphogenetic field. Don't even worry about it. Just morphogenetic field. Where is she standing?
Maybe she's doing a Michael Jackson lean backwards.
This is the first time in this game that this has come up, right? Usually they're very good because they're all 3D environments and they just place the character models within them. But right now, where is she standing?
Maybe she's like kneeling on the floor.
Even then, I guess she would have to be. I'm guessing that this one thing here with the dice box is not actually the 3D environment. It is just a CG. And that they just kind of put her in front of the CG that they use for the dice box thing.
Yeah.
That's got to be what's going on here, because as soon as I started looking at it, I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm sorry, what? No, that... Which is weird because every other part of this game has gone to great lengths to make sure that like it feels natural to see people in the scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then this just breaks it.
Maybe there's a hole in the floor.
Would you please let me out of the floor hole?
See, now it's normal again.
Yes,
That's
okay.
okay, yep.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure that there was just a CG that they were using.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. We got a little off topic there, but I think I made my point. Reality separates off into an infinite number of branches for each and every possibility. You and I seem to be able to jump from branch to branch.
Is it that you're jumping from branch to branch? Or is it that you are receiving knowledge from other branches.
Yeah, so far what they've described doesn't sound much like jumping.
Then again, I guess on a strictly literal level, we, the players choosing Sigma's actions, are indeed jumping from...
That's true.
Of course, our bodies aren't doing the jumping. Our consciousnesses are just sort of dive into other versions of ourselves in other worlds. You want to know what'll really fuck you up? Think about what happens to the version of you that was there before. Why should you, the interloper, be any more important?
I read a Steins Gate fanfic that was about that premise.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was about the idea of Okabe after the events of Steins Gate having created on the Steins Gate world line, having finally gotten his shit together, created a life with him and Kurisu, having children, having a wonderful life, and then however many years later being taken over by a consciousness from another branch and having that entire part of his personality and being erased. And I'm like, that's a good bit that doesn't really get explored in the game, does it?
Well, I'm wondering with this one, it doesn't seem like it's interesting. If their consciousness is diving into this other world, then why haven't we seen that?
Yeah,
There's just been perfect continuity.
I think she's misexplaining that, because consciousness diving is what Steins Gate world line hopping is like. This is just Sigma receiving details from disconnected details from other world lines, which is a different thing, right? Unless we want to start getting into the idea of what it means to be a continuous conscious being.
Even then.
It's I think... Yeah, I think she's misexplaining this.
Whoa, I think I get it now.
That's upsetting if true.
That's how you knew my name, right? You jumped in from another world. That's how you knew all those other things you shouldn't have known.
Yep.
And
this also, if that's true, that does imply that it's not just moving world lines, right? That would imply time travel as well, because if you moved from World 1 at time t to World 2 at time t, you wouldn't know the events from time t plus 1, regardless of which worlds you went into.
She's moving from World A at time t to World B at time t minus 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Assuming that there is moving from worlds involved itself, which we've already been that doesn't seem like a good
honestly,
description of it.
That's fine. The first game established that some temporal fuckery is acceptable with the morphogenetic field, as long as the target area is sufficiently similar.
I have no problems with the time fuckery. I just want to know what kind of time fuckery we're dealing with here.
Maybe for Fi it is her consciousness jumping, and for us...
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, maybe she's accurately reporting what she's experiencing.
Yeah, what if she's experienced something radically different from Sigma? We've just been kind of assuming everybody's experiencing the same thing, but we don't know that.
Yeah, so I wonder for her if that's actually what's going on with her.
That would make a lot more sense.
Ooh. Now, because we just seem to be getting disembodied images of things that... So then that would mean... What's up with the burning crosses, and what's up with the moon explosion?
I don't know.
Well, no. Moon explosion we've already got. We're on the moon. We already know that. That's fine. This is established. It's canon. We don't have to think about it any further. We're all on the same page here, right? The burning crosses is the weird one. I don't know what to make of that. That seems...
Yeah.
Way... Unless there's something in Sigma's backstory that he hasn't talked about yet. I could see that one being something from his childhood that he doesn't talk about.
Yeah, that's the best I can figure out, at least. Unfortunately, it seems like we don't retain all of our memories when we jump. Maybe we only remember particularly important things? Not sure how it works. But whatever the reason, it seems to be fairly limited. And often we don't seem to remember jumping at all. Things will just sort of pop up.
Okay, so we do get an explanation. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I retract my complaints then. If that's how it works, that's fine. We just have to have a consistent system for how it works.
Yeah, because having the consistent system is what makes the drama feel earned. Right?
And everybody knows that the way you make a good story regardless of if it's science fiction or fantasy, is that all of the things in it have to be a system that you can work out how everything works. This is how you make a good story, right? This is
So, I mean, yeah. So, actually, that's how you make... I feel like people misunderstand what that's for, right? Not every setting needs to have like a rigorously defined system of how things work, but a rigorously defined system of how things work absolutely will make your twists or stuff that come later in the story feel much more believable and earned, right? It's not just an ass pull that Magic McGee can do some magic he's never known before. It's, oh, Magic McGee is using these rules and explanations we've got in a novel way that has made sense for the entire time. It could have been, and we just, oh, that's so cool. As an author, I'm qualified to comment on this. Go download my book, apr.itch.io/mrrd. It's available for free. Am I actually qualified to talk about the construction of fiction now? I feel like I'm a little bit qualified.
What do you mean qualified to? As though you weren't allowed to before?
I don't know. I feel like maybe my opinion holds slightly more weight now that I've actually written a work of fiction.
Anyway, why are we just standing here staring at each other for long periods of time?
That's why when someone asks us how we know X, all we can think of to say is, I just knew.
Yep.
What's causing this then? I don't remember ever doing this before, so why would it start now?
If we knew that, I don't think we'd be having so much trouble. If only we would just talk with Clover.
Virtue's less reward. Virtue's less reward if Clover could talk to people and explain about the morphogenetic field within the first 20 minutes.
It's just...
Just what?
Well, I'm pretty sure it has to do with why we're locked up in here. There's no way this doesn't have something to do with whatever Zero Senior is trying to do. Why would he have left that Schrodinger's cat book in the crew quarters?
Zero Senior?
I think she's just extrapolating from Zero Junior.
Okay. You aren't Kitten, are you?
What? No, I'm a grudger, actually.
Maybe this is some sort of huge Schrodinger's cat experiment. And all 9 of us are locked up inside the box right now.
Huh. That seems like an interesting premise for like a mystery novel. Well, what if you've got it backwards?
Backwards?
We're outside of the box, and the rest of the world is inside.
Then the moment we step out of this place...
Yep. We might be determining the history of the world outside.
Okay.
What?
Okay. What?
Is this what we've been building to? This is kind of bullshit, but I love it because it's such a big swing level of bullshit.
I was going to say to your this could be a good mystery earlier. Sci-fi mystery where the murder is done with a Schrodinger box, and so is the person responsible for the killing?
Or the person who discovered it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Ooh.
Exactly.
They would have been alive if you just hadn't observed it.
Or rather, they would have been dead also.
Yeah, but then again, the only way to definitely save them, right?
Is to open it.
Yep.
And also the only way to definitely kill them.
Ooh, baby! I guess, are you willing to flip that coin? Oh, I'm sure someone's done that
Serial
before.
killer that's obsessed with thought experiments and keeps on doing murders in ways that irritatingly replicate things from physics or philosophy. The next victim is the trolley problem.
Ooh. I would watch this season of The Good Place. That sounds great.
Yeah, I think I'm talking myself into this one. This would be good.
Yeah.
And by good, I mean bad, but by bad, I mean good.
There is something inherently funny about making thought experiments real.
Yes. The oh, you missed the point of this being a thought experiment. And we're like,
right.
No, we have to actually test this.
Yeah, no. We need hard data on this.
Yeah.
I really like that one episode of The Good Place where what they do is just several different versions of the trolley problem and get so good. Oh man, who needs thought experiments in philosophy when we can just start running the numbers? What we need is hard data.
We might be determining the history of the world outside.
Okay, so if that is the angle, so then then somehow, the purpose of all this is to create a world outside where Radical 6 didn't eradicate the human population.
Yeah?
I think that's what we're doing. I don't know how that works. Maybe it's like, if everyone in here also has Radical 6, but also can cooperate and work together and demonstrate that it doesn't have to be the end-all like that humanity doesn't have to devolve into betraying itself, then somehow that cosmically means that the world itself will be okay.
I feel like it won't be that. I feel like cosmically means the world something isn't going to be a thing that Uchikoshi does. I feel like there's going to be a mechanism.
Yeah. I still feel like the win state we're looking for is some way to is that we're all infected with Radical 6 and we all still have to work together despite it. Right? The win state is to get us all to just ally 3 rounds in a row.
What does that have to do with Radical 6, right? Does Radical 6 make you betray people? That's not been a
It makes you want to act, lash out, and try to kill yourself, right?
Yeah, it makes you want to kill yourself.
It makes you want to kill yourself, and and if too many people kill themselves, then the game can't continue. Killing yourself is bad for society. Is that what I just came down on? I think that's what I just... Me, famed author who wrote an entire chapter defending the idea that you can kill, that one should be able to choose when they die. Sitting here over here arguing. Really, the real crime of suicide is what you're doing to society. Jesus Christ. Take me off this microphone.
No way. I had 1,000 other questions, but before I could open my mouth to ask them...
Not gonna lie, this might be one of the best episodes we've ever done.
You could tell it's good by how few scenes of the game we've gotten through. We're 2/3 of the way through this, and we're still on the same scene we fucking started.
That's how you know it's good shit. See, Clover likes it.
The apex of video games YouTube is when you manage to not play the video game at all.
Exactly.
Oh, good. There you are.
I'm dying over here. Help.
Did something happen?
Yes, we found it. Found what? What do you mean what? What else could we find? The bomb. The other antimatter bomb. The number 2 bomb is in the control room.
Where in the control room?
Is this it?
See, if they had just put it in the box, no one would have noticed it.
Yeah.
This is one of them, all right.
And it's number 2, apparently. Well, at least we've found them all now.
No, there could be more. Like Kay said, there might be a number 4 bomb out there. We have no way to know.
Did you tell anybody else about this, Clover? Well, not really, but, I wasn't the first person to find it.
Who was?
Kay and Luna. After they found it, they came to the infirmary and told the rest of us. Who was in the infirmary? Everyone. Tenmyoji and Dio were there. So were Alice and Quark, of course.
Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah.
Although they were still asleep.
So everyone who wasn't asleep knows about the bomb. I see.
Yeah. There's nobody else here, though. Where'd they all go? Right after we came here to look at the bomb, they all left. They were going to go look for you two.
Once you know the bomb is there, there's not really much else you can do by staring at it.
Yeah, if anything, you'd want to leave so that you're less close to a bomb.
Right?
That's generally what I would do if I saw a bomb. I would go the other direction.
That's scary. Why would I want to be next to a bomb? Oh no.
What about Alice and Quark? They're the same. Still sleeping. We checked them out just to be sure, but they seemed fine. That's good. Fi and I looked at one another and let out a small sigh of relief. Oh, right. I checked everybody's bracelets when we were in the infirmary. Did you want to know what they were?
No, not really.
It took her only a moment to explain. Alice was a green solo, and Quark was a blue solo. Dia's bracelet made him a yellow pair, and Tenmyoji was a cyan pair. So, what are our options for groups?
The next set of doors to open are going to be the white doors. It means we'll have to mix our colors so we can get white.
So doesn't that mean they're determined?
I laid out what that would mean. Option A. Fi and Tenmyoji, cyan, would pair with me, red. Kei and Dio, yellow, would pair with Quark, blue. Clover and Luna, magenta, would pair with Alice, green.
Okay, that seems acceptable because Quark and Alice are in separate groups.
Huh? There's only one option.
Okay, I was very confused for a moment because I'm like, I'm pretty sure that means there's only one option, right? And it's like, yes, yeah, okay.
Yep. Any other combinations don't make white.
What about Alice and Quark? Luna said it's going to be a while until they wake up.
We'll just have to carry them. Secondary doors won't open without 3 bracelets. If we can't open them...
Yeah, we'll get penalized.
Exactly.
Don't worry about Alice. I'm on her team. Are you saying you can carry her? Yeah. Well, I can get Luna to help me.
True, I'm sure she'd be happy to help.
What about Quark?
He's on Kay's team. There shouldn't be any issues there.
Has Kay been given a gender in the game yet?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, huh. I'm just like, wait, have I just been hard assuming this whole time?
Well, we still need to figure out what we're going to do about this bomb. Alice said we should be safe as long as it's not triggered with the remote. Maybe, but we can't just leave them here forever.
Is it gonna well, I guess here's the question. If they are as destructive as you say, does it matter where in the facility they are? Like, I can see if their destructive capability is limited within a certain area, then I can see the argument of moving them around and getting them out, somewhere where the destruction would be minimized. But if their destructive power is so big that the entire thing inevitably goes up no matter what, then does it really matter if it's underneath the desk here or in a broom closet? Does that matter?
I mean,
Oh,
if they go off, everything in like a couple 100 kilometers is going to get fried.
right. So, okay, yeah. So my point is that it doesn't matter then.
Wait. A couple of 100 really? That
Couple 100 kilometers? Well, let's see what she says.
Wait, a couple 100 kilometers? What are you talking about? That bomb should only have about as much explosive power as a ton of TNT. Which is nothing to sniff at, but that's nowhere near the kind of yield you're talking about. It could be. What if these bombs are just like the detonator? Oh.
I see. So she's extrapolating. Okay, that's fine.
You mean there might be a bunch more anti-hydrogen around here somewhere? Yep, right over there.
The reactor.
Yeah, there is supposed to only be 18 antimatter reactors in the whole world. If that's one of them, then there's a lot of anti-hydrogen. How much is a lot? 3.5 kilograms. 3.5.
Okay, so maybe now I can see the argument for moving it out of this room. Okay, you've successfully persuaded me. Maybe we find the furthest part of the facility away from the... Okay.
That's like 10,000 times more than Alice's 350 milligrams. If there really is that much, and if it does explode...
Then we would be looking at an explosion roughly 10,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped in Hiroshima.
No. That's insane.
Wait, Clover, how did you know that?
Know what?
That stuff about antimatter reactors.
Well, that's, during my training, they... Training for what?
I really want to know. Tell us, Clover.
My job? Oh, of course. I didn't realize waiters these days needed to memorize how many operational antimatter reactors there were worldwide. Or how much fuel each one of those reactors might be storing.
The fact that they were... Just taking one more step back. The fact that that's what Clover and company were investigating implies that they had reason to believe that that's what the next big problem would be. If they are indeed still chasing Zero from last time. So they had reason to look into this stuff.
You don't work at a cafe, do you? Did you hear about that from Alice? Yeah. Oh. Well, she's right then.
Sigma, did you just lie?
And why are you using antimatter reactors at a cafe? That's, what we call the coffee machines. What? Are you fucking with me?
No, she's right. Keurigs these days are fucked up.
Reacting coffee and anti-coffee to get a purely neutral beverage. That also detonates your kitchen.
Well, listen, we wouldn't do it, but it makes oil execs like a bunch of money if we do it this way, so.
I'm telling you the truth. I work at a cafe. It just might be a kind of fake job to divert attention. I think they call it a cover.
That's like your name without the L.
What?
Then what's your real job?
I'm sorry. I really can't tell you anything else.
And why not?
It's classified. Classified by who? The government.
Interesting. So they work for the U.S. government.
The U.S. government?
Maybe we don't know which government. They were in Nevada, I assumed.
The government?
That's right.
Which one? The one world government? Those guys are jerks.
Alice said it was her job to eliminate enemies of the state or something. So you two do work together.
The U.S. government has an anti-death game task force.
Consisting solely of absolute weirdos like this.
Because they're the only ones with relevant experience.
Yeah. Ah. Oh no. Check your bracelets. How much time do we have left?
Great diversion.
What are you talking about? How long until the doors open? Come on, quickly. Damn. We were supposed to have met up 5 minutes ago. I'm heading back then. Remember, we're supposed to meet at the infirmary.
Why don't we all just walk together?
You guys hurry back, okay?
We could literally just walk there all together. There's no reason to...
Bye.
Motherfucker.
Hey, you haven't... Damn it.
I get that she doesn't want to explain things.
And she's gone.
Clover out.
Clover going, saved a world. Do you think Clover shows up in the third game too?
I don't know.
I think she would kind of have to at that point, right? She's like almost the mascot at this point for the series. But also, so unfortunate then. Every time there's a death game, she knows she's going to have to participate in it. Her fucking resume.
Fine. She's right, We need to get going.
Hold on. I need to check something really quick.
What?
What did she check?
Oh, there you are. You're late. What were you doing?
I can't go with what I was about to say because it's not in character for her. But I want you to know my first instinct was for Fi to pop up and go,
Oh, oral sex.
She wouldn't, though, is the problem. Sigma would.
When we arrived, everyone else was already back.
Yeah, see, those ones are static CGs.
Quark and Alice hadn't left, of course.
Yeah.
They were both sleeping soundly, any traces of the madness we'd seen earlier long gone.
Clover told us! You've seen the bomb in the control room!
Yeah, with our own eyes. So, what the hell should we do? That makes 3 bombs.
Well, we have to do something. They're bombs, for God's sake.
There is a quick and simple solution.
Really?
Remember what Alice said?
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, deactivate. You see it right here, that's a port. If we could find the password input device, we just connect it there, and then we can enter the password. Out with it. So if we saw the password, we can deactivate them.
Whoa, hold on a second. That's great and all, but we need that password input device she was talking about. Without that, we're still boned, even if we did have the password.
Was that in this route or in a different route where Fi was about to propose the same thing, right?
No idea.
Not a problem. We've resolved that issue.
Huh?
Show them.
Oh wait, never mind, this is new.
I nodded and pulled it out of my pocket. That was in the safe in the control room. Exactly. We didn't have any idea what it was at first, but Fi figured it out.
I'll have you know, it tasted nothing like an actual blackberry.
After Clover left, we tested it.
Turned out I was right. It fit perfectly.
Couldn't get it to do anything, though. We plugged in a couple random characters, but all we got was an error.
Thank God it doesn't go off as a failsafe if you input the wrong password. Right? What a fucking risk.
Still, I'm sure this is the thing Alice was talking about. We just didn't have the right password.
But why was it in the control room?
Do you think Zero Senior put it here for us?
Why are you also doing that with your arm? This is my thing, young lady.
Wait, what are you doing now? No, Tenmyoji's kind of like the back of his head, but Clover's more like back of her neck.
Yeah, I'm trying to. I have headphones on. They're in the way of
Yeah,
doing
they're
the
in
right
the.
thing,
but I appreciate you trying. That would suggest it was also Zero Senior who set us up with the bombs.
Doesn't that seem odd, though? Zero Senior wants us to play the Nonary Game, right? So why would he set bombs? Maybe he wants to blow the whole place up if someone commits some crazy violation of the rules. That doesn't make sense. Our bracelets already have poison in them. If someone breaks a rule, all he has to do is activate their bracelet.
Unless that person was a robot. Could you imagine? A robot among us.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sorry. It's just so funny. Thank you for trying, V. I appreciate it. You're closing the wrong eye, though. You forgot that it was mirrored. You got
That's
the arm
correct.
right. You got the arm right, but you got the eye wrong. Oh, man. Okay. Sorry. These two have both done community theater together, okay? They do a mean dance production together.
Anyway, well, whatever the case is, there's only one thing we can be sure of. The person who set the bombs is one of us. Whether or not that person is also Zero Senior isn't particularly relevant at the moment. But what is relevant is that they know the deactivation password. If we can figure out who that person is and question them.
Then we can get the password and turn the bombs off.
Exactly. That would be my quick and easy method. So, fess up. Which one of you set the bombs?
Unless it was Alice or Quark, in which case we're SOL. They're still doing it.
Not that I expect you to do that. So we're going to be checking everyone.
Checking us.
Yep. Once they're set, the bombs will be controlled by a remote. It stands to reason whoever set them has that remote.
Okay, so now we're going back into the... I got it.
So, you're going to search us for it?
And again, my same question that we did last time. Why are we not searching her herself? Like, even though I think it's her less than I did last time this scene came up, as a show of good faith, you would want to do that.
Yep.
But
No buts. If you refuse, that implicates you. Do what I say and you'll be fine, assuming you are actually innocent. Understand? No reason to wait. Let's get started. Anyone want to volunteer to go first? Nope. All right, let's see.
Wait.
Huh?
You only need to search one person.
Right, this is how it ended last time.
yep.
But,
What do you mean? Why?
Because I figured out who did it. I know who did it. The words were out of my mouth before I'd even realized I was saying them.
How can you? There's no way.
Yeah. I met Fi's gaze and nodded, then turned away. I know who set the bombs. That person...
couple of CGs we haven't seen there before, including one of Dio holding something that looked like a trigger.
And also some astronauts.
Yeah, right? Again, moon.
That person, you did it.
Okay, so same story log as last time, I bet.
The room was suddenly silent.
Or is this another one where we need to have information from another route? And yeah, okay, understood. So presumably that means that Sigma in this world line just kind of got some convenient morphogenetic info from another one.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, that's me lock number 9. Interesting that they're both... I wonder... We should probably do this for completion's sake,
Yep.
but I bet this is going to be the same thing over here, right? So we're going to
What do you mean, same thing over here?
Or similar... in this column right here.
Maybe.
Maybe, I guess. Where did Alice go? And then I'm trying to remember what happened in the archives. Oh, okay, this is archives, green door. So we had Luna with us in this route, right?
Yep.
Okay. And this time we want to betray.
Yep.
Understood. Yeah.
2 minutes remain until Ambidex Game polling closes.
Oh, right, and we know about our fucking...
Right, this is the I'm so fucked up route.
Yes. Our big fucking cum hand. All right.
Betrayal!
Luna and I stepped out of the AB room. I could see the others filing out of their rooms as we did. Why? I didn't have an answer for her. All I could think about was that white liquid. What was it? Some kind of discharge? Blood? No. It couldn't be blood. Blood wasn't white. That was insane.
Turns out Sigma is just normal, but has red, white, colorblind.
I've flirted.
He's never bled before, so this is...
Yeah. Well, I floated the idea that one person in this game might be colorblind. I don't know what it would be important for, but is red, white colorblind even a thing?
No.
I don't
it
think
is
that
not.
is.
I was lost in thought when Luna spoke. I'm going to the infirmary. Huh? Don't you want to see the results? Why? I already know what they're going to be. Her usually warm personality seems to have gone cold.
You left the decision to him and then act sad at the result. Come on. You had a say here and you gave it up.
Whether it was because I'd chosen betray or because she'd noticed that something was wrong with my body, I couldn't say. Excuse me. And with that, she was gone. I turned back to the projection. With heavy steps, I headed toward Kei, Dio, and Tenmyoji.
So who did we betray in this one? We were in the library with was it Fi again?
I don't think so.
It's been a hot minute. The results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen. Oh, there's only 3 of us. It was Clover. Well, I mean, yeah, because she wasn't here in this route to say anything, so... Anyway, we got 9 points. Later, bitches.
Yay, we're so good at this game.
I don't know why you all think it's so hard. I got 9 points, no problem. Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
What the hell?
Sigma has 9 BP.
See, I told you, the bastard's finally showing his true colors.
What the hell are you doing? Clover isn't even voting.
I have misjudged you. I never thought you would do something so cowardly. Is this our first time seeing whatever the fuck this hook is
I don't know.
in the ceiling?
There was nothing I could say.
Claw?
I had chosen betray of my own volition, but had I really pressed that button of my own free will? The more I thought about it, the more I felt as if some other force had guided my hand to the button.
How convenient for you.
Perhaps it had been fear? I was scared by the white fluid that had appeared on my palm. Maybe that had been the tipping point, and I had decided that I had to escape as soon as possible, damn the consequences. If I got out, then the nightmare would be over. That's all it was, right? A nightmare. It couldn't be real. White blood was insane, impossible. That was when I looked up and saw the others staring at my hand. Shit. I quickly put my hand behind my back, but it was already too late.
Ooh, maybe we'll get some more closure on what's going on with that.
They moved toward me like wolves closing in for the kill.
Sigma! What was that?
He was cut. Must have been blood.
But why? Why was it white?
Isn't that obvious? He's not human.
Much unlike Detroit. Not human.
No. What are you saying? Of course I'm human. I'm 100% human.
Then explain that white stuff.
I swear to God, I have no idea what it is. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not being very convincing.
Oh, you're one to talk. We can't even see you. You could be a robot. Maybe that's not even a suit. That's just you. Robot you.
Nope. That seems extremely unlikely. However bad my amnesia might be, I'm quite sure of my humanity. Yeah, but so are we. I am without a doubt not a robot.
They probably just programmed you to think that. Alright, it's pretty obvious this guy's dangerous and probably unhinged. We should take him down.
I agree.
Looks like there's no other way. Now that he's got 9 BP from stabbing Clover in the back, there's a good chance he'll try to get out of here by himself.
Hey, hold on a minute. Let's not do anything rash.
You have a rash?
Huh. I didn't have a choice. I spun around and ran for the number 9 door. No, I don't think so. Shit. Let go. Let go of me. I was no match for all 3 of them. Before I could take 2 steps, I was on the floor, pinned. The desperation was only getting stronger, however, and I writhed and twisted in a futile attempt to get free. God damn it, you have to let me go. This is all some kind of mistake, a misunderstanding. It's a conspiracy.
It's a mistake. Well, unfortunately for you, we are not copy kittens.
Huh. So there's a conspiracy to turn your blood white? You're a funny guy.
Stop trying to get away. It's over.
Shit. Get off me. Let me go.
If you won't calm down, then you leave me no choice. Or you could avoid this. Try not to struggle too much.
No. Don't. Ugh. The first thing I felt when I woke up was the hard pain of a bruise all the way across my neck. Kay must have suffocated me. My head felt like it had been stuffed with cotton, and I had to put out a hand to steady myself as I stood up. Where am I? Is this the infirmary?
The gun is on the ground there. Is that the injection gun?
Think so. How long had I been out? My foot bumped into something, and I looked down to see the injection gun.
Why do I bother?
A glass vial labeled Soporil was still attached to it. The anesthetic. After choking me, they'd made sure I wasn't getting up in the near future.
Interesting how we designed robots in this scenario to operate on the same biological level as people. We had no reason to do that.
That meant I could have been asleep for a long time. Where is everyone? I glanced around the room.
Well, could they have advanced? If they dragged his body in here, they could have dragged his body to the door. That's not hard to believe. But him being back in the infirmary is interesting.
It was empty, except for me. Ooh. It took me a moment to realize what was especially odd about that.
Yeah, because we're the 2 people that are meant to be there, right? I love it when this trick gets pulled. Because this happens, there are bits like this in a lot of Uchikoshi games, and I love them every time they come up. The bit where we get knocked out for an indeterminate amount of time, and all of a sudden everything has gone to shit in the meanwhile.
It took me a moment to realize what was especially odd about that. Even Quark and Alice had disappeared. What the hell's going on? That was when I noticed it. Quark and Alice weren't the only things that had disappeared. 2 other things, 2 other very important things, were also gone.
The Accelavir?
My bracelet and my left hand.
No, ha! That's even better. Oh, that's so good. Oh, that's great.
For a long moment, I just stared, dumbstruck. What I was seeing couldn't possibly be real.
All right, let's see it. Let's see it. Is it going to be RoboHand? We've cut into flesh now. There's going to be no 2 buts about this. Let's see it.
But there it was, a smooth cross-section of my arm where a hand should have been. A thick, white liquid. A thickwid dripped slowly from the stump. What is this? Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Ah! A scream clawed its way out of my body, taking my mind with it. Then after that, nothing.
Oh,
Bang.
come on. Let us see. Let us see. Ah. They're playing with us, but I think it's got to be Robot. It's got to be robots. Game over, man. Game over.
That or Sigma Clim has come instead of blood.
Yeah, could be.
It could happen.
Are we finally at a point where we are exhausted all of these and only have story locks now?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, shit. I didn't mean to click back out of that. Oh, we have to sit through all these little flash forwards again until I can get to the thingy. See, Traverse is burning. Yep. Rain. It's fucking moon base. You know what? It could be Mars. Maybe it was Mars. I could always be wrong about this. Let's go ahead. So in that case, I think, yeah, this looks like everything we can do on the right side of the branch here. In that case, go ahead.
Oh, you were gonna finish a sentence.
In that case, I think maybe we call the sode here.
Yeah.
Wow. And then this was determined by what door we went through, right?
Yep, the very first door.
We went through Cyan. And I think we did that to be with Alice the first time,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So that means we'll have to pick a new color next time. Wow. It feels so strange, but here we are. We have done everything we can do on the tree that we started on. We are forced now to go back all the way to the beginning and make a new decision.
We are potentially almost 1/3 of the way through this storyline.
That's not actually the case. There's no way that's the case. You remember how long the final route in 999 took? Yeah, no fucking way. Anyway, join us all next time, and we'll pick one of the other two doors. Don't tell us which door you'd prefer us to go through, because we won't see it before we record it, and we'll just feel bad.
Actually, the choice you make in the future might determine the past.
That's
so
right.
do.
That's right. So what we need you to do is write your comment, and then if it's the wrong one when it shows up, just go back and edit it, okay? No one has to know.
No. Just write your comments, but seal them in a box with a vial of radioactive material and some poison gas.
This is vitally important. It might prevent the world from being infected with Radical 6. Somehow. All right, bye, everyone.
Peace.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.